Look at the Democrat side of things. Headlines in the liberal media sounding alarm bells over President Biden's re-election chances. A New York Times op-ed headline simply reads, Joe Biden's in trouble. Let's bring in Bret Baier, anchor of Special Report. Bret, what's the buzz in Washington, D.C. about the Biden campaign chances?
Good morning. It's five-alarm fire, actually, in Democratic circles. And it's not just a whisper. It is now a full-on conversation that is happening. And it's not just the New York Times Siena poll. It's other polls that have tracked that. But inside that New York Times Siena poll is some really tough numbers for the president. One, African Americans, the black community going to the former president head-to-head to 22%. That's a big number for any Republican. And then you look at who thinks President Biden is too old, 77%.
Yeah, that's daunting. You wonder what the Fed does over the next 12 months. I mean, if there's a chance, in the next quarter they start lowering rates, maybe the stock market gets more juice and the economic picture changes over the next 6 months. I mean, it's not impossible. But I think when you look at these numbers, the economy, double-digit favor for Republicans on this. Here's what the Biden campaign says about it. Predictions more than a year out tend to look a little different a year later, a year out from the 22 midterms, when every major outlet similarly predicted a grim forecast for President Biden. Some truth to that. The red wave was not this giant tsunami. I mean, it was a wave, but you can gauge whether or not how high it was justified by the amount of media reports that gave it that treatment prior to the vote. So now you've got this question.
Yeah, and listen, today's going to tell us something.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say,
today's going to tell us something because of the abortion stuff.
Yeah, you're right about that. Carl was with us last hour. I apologize, Bret. And we were trying to figure out if Biden steps away, what does Kamala Harris do? It's not like you're just interchanging one candidate for another. I mean, this would be another tsunami, if you allow me, within the Democratic Party. I just don't know how you see that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, on the first point, we'll find out today if the abortion question is really going to be as powerful as it was in 2022. That's one thing that some of these states that comes up, Ohio, Virginia, because of Glenn Youngkin and what he wants to do with 15 weeks. But to your bigger question, what is the path for President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris? If you're talking about a full change, that has to happen fairly quickly. Otherwise, you have to have a brokered convention. Democrats have the mechanics to do that. They have super delegates. They have a lot more behind-the-scenes organization than Republicans do on that front. But you're talking about a major, major sea change happening in just a few months.
You had that New York Times poll that showed Trump leading in 5 of 6 battleground states. And even though I know that the Biden campaign says, well, our fundamentals are strong and Obama was this far behind, when you have someone like David Axelrod, who was Obama's senior advisor, and I think in a lot of ways people would imagine that he probably still in some ways speaks for Obama. I'm not saying directly necessarily, but if you are a Democrat and you see David Axelrod saying that, it has to give you pause. And I wonder about that in terms of their ability to fundraise.
Yeah. Listen, David Axelrod has been critical of Joe Biden before. He was critical of him when he was vice president. He was critical of him when he was in the debates, one time calling him Mr. Magoo. But listen, he still speaks from a place of prominence inside Obama land. When he says that means something. And I think you're seeing more and more Democratic pundits saying something similar. When you have somebody say there's no path forward for President Biden, I think that's a little bit aggressive right now where we are. But they're in trouble, and they know it, and they're going to start really trying to dig out.
Just one last point, Bret. The Biden family goes to Nantucket every Thanksgiving, right? And we've been told that's when they have the family conversation about the future. I think for the sake of this conversation, I believe Biden's going to run. That's my feeling today, and I just want to get a gut reaction from you on that.
I think I agree with you, Bill. If I had to do my own candidate casino, I would probably put 70-30 on Biden running. I think that the fear is, I think in his mind, that he's the only one that can beat Donald Trump, and that he believes if he steps aside, someone further to the left maybe comes into that spot. I don't know.
I'm giggling a little bit because I have
that we're talking
a
like this.
wager with Jesse Waters on the 5 about Thanksgiving, the Bidens, and the week after.
Everyone's playing casino,
More
Brett.
to be discussed. We'll see you on the 5 as well. Bret Baier, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Brett.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.